The cool thing about these notebooks too, is you can make your ideas come to life. What's up, GQ? I'm Zach King, and these are my essentials. Legos. Legos have always been a huge part of my life. I have a pretty extensive Lego collection, both at office and my studio space. And there's actually a term. I'm technically an AFOL, which is an adult fan of Legos. For me, Legos are therapeutic. It's like the thing I enjoy coming home from a busy day. And I think what I enjoy about it is actually going through the manual and being told what to do. I've kind of realized over the years, following directions I get to enjoy and do in the Lego process. The rest of my life, we're usually creating the directions as filmmakers. One of my favorite series that they have is the Architect series, and I bought all of them and I buy them as I go, but I don't build them until I go visit that city. So it's a fun thing when you see it in my office that it's built. That means I've been to Sydney or wherever. I love building sets that mean something to me, like the movie theater here. I got this when I was in high school. When I went down to film school, it represented like kind of the career path that I was off to. I probably will never be making movies for the big screen, but you know, here I am making movies for little devices for millions of people. So it's a different world. This is another essential item. This is the Flamethrower by The Boring Company, and a lot of people have commented that it's not technically a flamethrower, but I don't care, it's still super cool. I actually found it more practical than I ever thought. One, it's super entertaining for my kids. It buys me about 30 minutes of parent time, which when you're a parent of 2 kids under 3 years old, you know that's a lot of time. We'll make marshmallows and s'mores. I have also used this to help cook, and some things you can do with desserts like creme brulee is burning the top. It's really handy. Let's see if it, so just, oh, burning the mic. I don't think that's supposed to be leaking. I'll have to report that to Elon. This is one of my 3D printers, and the reason a 3D printer is really handy for me and my studio team is it allows the brainstorming and the ideas to be really limitless because we know we can 3D print it most likely. So if we're talking about a concept where we need a trash can that's an exact specific size that comes with a cute little bag, we can print it out and spray paint it silver or whatever it needs to be. I did a trick once where I was playing catch with myself and tossing the football, and then it turned into a mini football in the foreground, and we'll take a regular football. Eventually we scale it down to the right size and we paint it, and it's just a really cute miniature. It also comes in handy currently with Corona. We've been printing these masks. So we don't print this plastic visor, but we print the headpiece and the bottom clip here. We're sending these pieces out to hospitals so that they can, you know, protect people. If there was 3D printers when I was a kid, I would be all about it and geeking out. It'd be probably more important than Legos to me, but I mean, you can kind of 3D print Legos. I've done it. This is an essential item for me. This is a boosted board. I'm either biking or boosted boarding around my neighborhood to go pick up groceries or just to entertain myself or my kids. I'll put one kid in the front, one kid in the back, and we'll just sit on the ground. What's great is over the years, I've had every version of the boosted board, so I have 3 of them, and so I can go out with 2 other friends and just do a little brainstorm session while we're boosted boarding. These things go a deadly speed. I've taken some pretty bad falls on it myself. I've never clocked it, but I do ride it 12 miles to my work and I book it. So I take the bike path. These are some of my RC airplanes. When I get into a hobby, I'm kind of like my dad where I go really deep into the hobby. And so I started with these maybe 10 or 12 years ago and then quickly was escalating up to these guys and then bigger wingspans, and eventually I got my own pilot's license. I fly both RC and real single engine aircraft. You know, there's so much more stakes when you're flying single engine aircraft with a friend or a family member, so you can't mess around and do loops and like, I'm gonna go dive down this tree and see if I can make it. Like, you only get one chance at that. So again, I think that's why I enjoy the RC aircraft. I actually fly with my kids. I have 2 remotes, so I give them each a remote and then I have the master remote. And so they think we're working together, but it's really dad flying. Someday they're gonna watch this and find out their dad was flying the whole time. One of the most important items that I have is my Epipen. The reason this item is important is because I'm super allergic to bees and I'm a beekeeper. So let me get my suit. So this is what I wear when I'm beekeeping. It's a pretty thick material, and what it allows you to do is be out by the bees. You have a little smoker, and the bees will come on you, and some of them will try to sting you, but they usually can't get through this. Thank goodness, because I was told after my first sting that landed me in the ER that I was highly allergic, and all I need was to get stung like in the neck area, which would potentially cause me to stop breathing. But over the years, I've learned how to actually beekeep, and it's fun. You get some beautiful works of nature. It's really, honey is kind of art. So I absolutely love beekeeping. I do it with one of my best friends. I think I'll be beekeeping the rest of my life, even though I don't know if my wife is a major fan of it because of the allergy to bees. These are my essential 3 books currently that I've been reading a lot of. This book, Big Magic, is by Elizabeth Gilbert. Incredible read if you want to figure out how to go about a creative lifestyle. A lot of little good nuggets of gold. And then another book with a lot of wisdom for artists is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Highly recommend. A lot of cool practical tactile habits to try out and see if it works for you. The other thing, people ask me where I get my ideas, and I actually have a very similar mind to Gary Larson. I think his work is genius and brilliant. I'll pull out some of his comics and read just a couple pages of one of the Far Side collections. Not only makes me laugh, but like I'll get video ideas. My thing with reading is I usually get a book and I'll read it through or skim it and take little sections and then kind of digest it by a chapter. So for example, in The Artist's Way, she talks about different things you can try out for a year and different habits you can put into your lifestyle. I will try them for usually a month at a time. So I'll try it out for a month, and if it seems like it's working, I'll commit to another longer period of time, like 3 months or 6 months. That's what I love about reading. You can skim, grab a little nugget, try it out in your life and see if it works. And then if not, move on and continue sorting through all the other great literature out there. This is my Canon 5D. I absolutely love this series. This is the Mark IV, but this is one of the cameras that changed the game for me when it came to filmmaking. I got the Mark II when I was in high school, and I absolutely, it changed the way the depth of field looked in my work. It felt cinematic all of a sudden, and I think Canon makes some beautiful glass as well. I spend a lot of my time looking through viewfinders. I realize probably many days of my year is actually just looking through a viewfinder, but I think it's special because it's your way of seeing the world and how you want it. There's a million ways you can film this room even, but I get to put my version out there in the world. This is also my home video camera. So I'll shoot my family videos with the 5D, and I know it looks annoying in public. Now it's funny, I look like a YouTuber, which is a dead giveaway, but I'm not vlogging, I'm just making my home videos. My kids are funny when they see me with the camera. They always say cheese, so they think I'm taking photos, but I'm like, guys, I got all these videos of you saying that now. So this is an amazing set of tools, this bug hunting kit, especially if you have kids like I do. You've got your grabber, and we go bug hunting all weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes after I come home from work. This is a super fun activity, especially here in California. There's a lot of fun insects and bugs and toads that you can catch, but this is a super special bug container because it allows you to catch some really neat creatures that you may not see with the visible eye. Like this tarantula here. Do we know if this one's poisonous? How do you know if they're poisonous? This is kind of terrifying. Yeah, we're gonna cut to the next thing. I carry around with me all day, every day, one of these, a moleskin notebook. I go through about one every 3 weeks, and I write down everything from what I'm gonna do that day. I'm gonna write down ideas that come to me. It's really helpful for me to get the ideas on paper. And I know there's a lot of different theories on this from different creatives. They'll say oh, well, good ideas, you should always remember them and don't write them down. But I found that's, with me, never, I just can't remember or recall. The cool thing about these notebooks too is you can flip to a page. Make your ideas come to life. Well, thanks for hanging out and checking out my essentials. I'll see you guys next time.